These are the times when you might need someone to talk to, maybe a spiritual coach to get you through or above what's happening in the 3D world. Because, I mean, doesn't it just get crazier and crazier? The kind of stuff that keeps cranking out on the news. I don't even watch the news, but I understand what's going on. I get it. It's not like I'm in the dark. I hear everything. And, these were the times that were always predicted that we would get into a situation where there'd be a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion, and people would have to sort it out and figure out by going within how to get through it. Here we are. And, I always had spiritual coaches on retainer many years ago when I was in my 20s, because after I had a spiritually transformative experience, which was basically like being reborn. I became a different person because I, I acknowledged that I had a higher self, an authentic self that I met. And I started to have a series of revelatory dreams and experiences and mystical experiences. It just went on and on and on from there. So I realize it's very confusing when you go through something like that. And you're also kind of shocked when you find out that it can alienate you from friends and family because you are like a different person. I'll never forget that man I had on my flight to Zurich that was going over to the Jung Institute to study because he was really into helping people through psychology, and especially he liked, Carl Jung, the famous psychologist. But he felt become a walk-in after a surgery that he had. He was no longer the same person. And even his friends and family acknowledged that he wasn't like he was the same person. He had like an awakening, or maybe he was a different person. There have been many stories about these walk-ins that come in, and there's an agreement made between the soul that's living in that body, and then someone else comes along and they switch. You just don't know how things are going down because there's an awful lot of mysteries that we have to deal with in the three-dimensional world. But one thing I do know, you can find inner peace. You can do some pretty amazing things once you hear the message and you listen and get the message the way it's being delivered. Because, when mystics talk, you have to have ears to hear and eyes to see, because it'll go right over your head. And you have to be ready. You have to be ready. And that's what's happening now very much in this 3D world. People are being prepared, whether you like it or not. Your higher self came here in physical form to go through an experience that would get you to another higher level of consciousness, because you can just awaken more and more and more to your real self until you totally have that peace that passeth understanding. Once you get that, you're free.